It was brought to my attention that I probably should not use aluminum from this aluminum sign that I had to make my fabricated piece to fix this. So what was suggested was that I go to Lowe's and get a piece of weldable sheet metal. There's the part number there. It was only about $6. They actually had a larger piece. The 36 by 18 I think was like $36, and this was like $6, and this is all I need. So it's 22 gauge weldable sheet metal. It's like the exact same gauge of that. So I'm going to use the brake and do all this again. I don't really need to show you that because it's the exact same thing, and I'll show you the finished product. And instead of cutting this with a Dremel tool, those little Dremel wheels are expensive. I decided to go with one of these. These are cheap, like $12, $13 at Lowe's. And let's see how it works. Works real well. Alright, this is what that plate protects. So it screws into here, and it screws into here. So it goes like this. Right there, and as you can see, got a big that's the finished product of the fuel hose protector. That'll work. I blew a hole in it welding, but it's okay. Well, we put the new track bar on, and we still have some death wobble. But I think this is it, because there's a lot of play in this tie rod end right here, and it might just be loose. I'm gonna try to tighten it, because it looks like it's fairly new, but I think that's the problem. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is try to tighten it. I'm going to take that cotter pin out and put a wrench on it and tighten it. Might have to undo this if we're going to change it, so I'll go ahead and squirt some of that on there. Okay, that top nut is a 19mm icon. You know, that matters. 19mm icon. Alright, it's definitely not loose. I put a breaker bar on it. It didn't budge. So So we're going to replace it. Alright, this adjusting nut here is a 15 millimeter icon. Alright, we're going to pickle fork that bad boy. Yay, just a few good whacks with the old pickle forks and it came out. Now, I don't know why that was making noise, but it was. You know what? I think it's wore out in there. Alright, AutoZone only had the heavy duty in stock. It's the Duralast Gold, and the regular Duralast was about $28 and this was $48, but always get a AutoZone coupon. Allstate always has a $7 coupon. If you look up Allstate AutoZone $7 coupon, you can print out a bunch of those, and when you spend over $30 you can always get $7 off of anything at AutoZone. But anyway, so this has a greasable high strength integrated bearing design, which the regular one is just like compression fitting. So and it's very well packaged. Heavy duty grease grommet thing, protection here. So I mean, this looks really heavy duty. So looks like the finish is good. Oh Lord, it says China on it, but the coronavirus should already be dead since it had to come overseas. In comparison, okay, so in comparison, let me zero this out. Okay, so in millimeters, this is 40.7 millimeters, if you can see that, 40.7. And this one, at its widest point, is 48.6. So this is much beefier. Now, of course, the threads are going to be the same size because it has to go in to the same thing. All right, let's go put this on. First, we got to install our grease fitting. It does come with a new castle nut, grease fitting, and cotter pin, but it's nice. It has a little cap on the grease fitting, kind of like what you would see on a brake bleeder valve. That's kind of nice. All right, now I'm going to fill it with grease. And another interesting feature of this tie rod end, it's got like a metal ring around the boot at the top, which keeps it sturdy. Right there. And the original one is just a big goopy piece of rubber, no metal ring, no reinforcement or anything. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is try to tighten it. I'm going to take that cotter pin out and put a wrench on it and tighten it. Might have to undo this if we're going to change it, so I'll go ahead and squirt some of that on there. Okay, that top nut is a 19mm icon. You know, that matters. 19mm icon. Alright, we're going to pickle fork that bad boy. Yay, just a few good whacks with the old pickle forks and it came out. Now, I don't know why that was making noise, but it was. You know what, I think it's wore out in there. Alright, this adjusting nut here is a 15mm icon. Now this has reverse thread, so you got to do it counterclockwise to tighten it. Now in order to keep this alignment fairly consistent, I counted 4 threads. So I got to screw this all the way in until I can only see 4 threads. Alright, now that we got it on, I'll tighten it to about 55 foot-pounds. Put a cotter key in and go test drive it. Alright, now we're just going to put the cotter key in and we'll go take it for a spin. I just took it for a test drive and guess what? No more death wobble. Alright, so this is what it took to fix it. This track bar, we had some play right here. And a little play right there. Okay. And then I replaced that and then took it for a spin. Well, ultimately, this was my death wobble fix. A track bar from O'Reilly Master Pro. A tie rod in, the one that connects to the pitman arm and gearbox from AutoZone, and a steering stabilizer from AutoZone. Now this doesn't really have anything to do with death wobble. It just kind of dampens the blows, but I was under there anyway, needed to take it off, so why put an old one back on? It was inexpensive clearance at AutoZone. Alright, on to the next one.